clean from below, like the sea itself had fists. The Magellan, they say her stern was crushed, as if by some giant hand, went down in less than an hour. 50 men, gone.
Whole crews lost, no trace left, but shattered planks and floating wreckage.
This is no common beast. A demon of iron and shadow, they say.
Some say it's a whale. And the Scotia, too, ripped open like a child's toy. A gash in her hull, big enough to drive a carriage through.
This is no common beast. A demon of iron and shadows, they say. A monster, born from the depths.
Shimmering under the water, like a black steel mountain,
like
moving under the
corpse
waves.
in the surf. The carved eyes staring upward, like it had seen the devil himself.
Waters off Japan and the Indian Ocean. It's as if the thing has no master, no purpose, save to spread ruin and fear.
Something from the deep. And it doesn't leave survivors.
Captain swore he saw something.
Some call it a myth, a sailor's tale. But the bodies, the wreckage, they tell another story. Vernon Wells, Tom Konkle, David Beeler, and Paul Eiding. "20,000 leagues under the sea." My name is Professor Aronnax. By profession, I'm a naturalist, a man of science, a seeker of truth. I have spent my life cataloging the wonders of the world, peering into nature's hidden corners, and unraveling its secrets. In the spring of 1866, the rumors grew louder and darker. A creature, they said, swift, merciless, was attacking ships from one ocean to the next. And as the wreckage piled up, so too did the fear and the fascination. These were no mere sailors' tales. I had seen the fear in their eyes, heard the tremor in their voices. Whatever it was, this creature, this thing, had left its mark upon the minds of men. And as we sailed deeper into the unknown, I found myself wondering, had we summoned the monster, or was it waiting for us all along? At the urgent request of the United States government, I joined an expedition aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, a powerful frigate outfitted to hunt, and if necessary, destroy this enigmatic terror of the seas. And so we sailed, the Abraham Lincoln and I at her bow, into the vast unknown, with two companions by my side. Conseil, my steadfast assistant, loyal as the tide itself, a man of few words and unwavering trust, and Ned Land, the harpooner, a hunter of the great whales, fierce and fearless, eager to pit his skill against this leviathan from the deep. He called it his duty, but I knew there was something more, a restlessness, a need to prove himself against a force as primal as the ocean itself. And so, we found ourselves called to the sea to join the American expedition. It was a summons I could not refuse. To stand at the edge of knowledge, to stare into the unknown, how could I resist? Stories of a creature beyond reason, a monster that defied nature itself. Some said it was a leviathan, a creature of myth, reborn. But I saw it in something more, an enigma, a challenge, and perhaps a warning. A mystery that lay waiting somewhere beyond the edge of human understanding, in the silence of the deep. On a mist-shrouded morning in early July, the Abraham Lincoln set sail. Its bow, cutting through the water like a blade, aimed straight into the heart of mystery. With each swell of the sail, we left behind the known world.
Huh. Hunting a sea monster? Huh. I've chased plenty of whales in my day, but this is madness.
Perhaps, Monsieur Land, but if I may, the professor himself is here after all, and he does not waste time on mere gossip. If there's something out here, you can be sure it's not merely a fish story.
Fish story or not, Conseil. I'll believe it when I've got it on the end of this harpoon I'm sharpening. Until then, all this talk of monsters is just wind and waves.
As you say, monsieur, but if it is indeed something beyond the ordinary, would it not be worth seeing? To witness the unknown. Surely, a discovery is a rare gift, even for a man of your skill.
Ha! Discovery, you say? Well, that's all fine for you and the Professor, Conseil, but I'm here to bring back proof, not to stand in awe. If it's a beast, then it bleeds. And if it bleeds, well, we'll see who can dye the ocean red first.
Ned's skepticism was as sharp as the blade he carried, an iron resolve that saw no myth or mystery in the ocean, only prey to be hunted. And Conseil, my faithful companion, ever observant, as quiet as a shadow. He saw the same thrill that I did, the thrill of the unknown, the lure of what lay just beyond our reach. For myself, I felt drawn toward it, as if I were on the edge of something vast and unknowable, and couldn't resist the pull.
They say it's a demon, sir. My uncle back in Boston told me, black as coal with eyes that shine in the dark like flames. Some folks think it's come to punish us for all the things we've taken from the sea.
Huh. Punish us? Ridiculous. There's no punishment under the waves, lad. Just beasts and fish and fools who fill their heads with tales. Mark my words. Whatever's out there, I'll pierce its unholy flesh clean through.
And so we sailed deeper into the unknown. each man with his own hopes, fears, and doubts. For Ned Land, it was a hunt, simple, direct, grounded in the hard reality of steel and sinew. For Conseil, it was a rare chance to witness something beyond the ordinary, a glimpse into the mysteries he might never fully understand. And for myself, something darker, something that went beyond science or understanding, as though we were drawn, step by step, toward the edge of the world.
Steady as she goes. All hands to your posts. Keep a sharp eye out. If that creature's out there, we'll find it yet.
Aye, aye, Captain Farragut.
There is a kind of silence that belongs only to the ocean at night. A silence, thick and impenetrable, as if the sea itself is watching. We had been out here for weeks, searching, scanning the horizon, waiting, staring into the depths, hoping to catch a glimpse of the creature that haunted our imaginations. But tonight felt different. A chill settled over the ship, an unspoken tension running through every man on board.
You hear that, Professor? Under the water. Like the beat of a drum. I have tracked beasts all my life, but I've never heard anything like that.
No, Ned, this is no ordinary sound. It's methodical, not the random churn of the ocean or the groan of a whale. It's as if something enormous, deliberate.
As it happens, it's nothing more than a submerged current, a natural phenomenon. Or perhaps it is indeed something beyond the ordinary.
Beyond the ordinary seems like an understatement, Conseil. Nature is often mysterious, but this...
Starboard bow! Something's glowing under the
Do you hear?
water!
This isn't just a creature. This is something engineered, alive, but with purpose or intelligence.
If it's intelligent, then it's taunting us. Whatever it is, it'll learn the sharp end of my harpoon soon enough.
Monsieur Ned, I am quite certain we are the ones being hunted.
That is no monster of flesh and bone. It feels forged, crafted from the depths. Something with a mind, a will.
A will, is it? Then let's see if it bleeds. I'll wait for my moment.
We've seen only the surface. Glimpse of it. Something vast. And it saw us. I'm sure of it. Studying us. Like we're the intruders here.
And perhaps we are. It is possible this thing has been here far longer than any of us. Watching. Waiting.
Do you think it'll come back?
Oh, it'll come back.
As the echoes of that sound drifted away, we were left in the emptiness of the sea, haunted by what we had glimpsed. There was no more creature, no wild beast. It was a presence, a power forged from sea and darkness. The air was thick with the scent of salt and iron, the promise of violence hanging like a fog. And in that silent moment, I wondered, had we found the unknown, or had it found us? We had lost sight of it, that pulsing light, that creature of iron and shadow. Hours passed as we sailed into the night, the crew on edge, waiting, watching. But as the minutes slipped by, I felt a foolish relief creeping in, as if maybe it had decided to leave us be. I rushed to the railing, my eyes straining against the dark sheen of the water. Then I saw it, or perhaps I felt it first. Glimmer, just at the edge of sight, where light bled into shadow. A luminous shape, unnatural, beautiful, gliding behind the waves.
Monsieur, that glow, it is not a creature. It's a machine.
It was like a flicker of a dying sun, green and spectral, sliding beneath the surface, as if the very ocean had been lit from within by some ancient and malevolent spirit. For a moment, it seemed to shift and change, taking the form of a leviathan, and then an elongated silhouette of metal. No, not metal. Something far stranger. Something that had abandoned all the rules of the surface world. It loomed, a hull, a perfect silent curve, like the spine of a forgotten god, raised from the sea's black vault.
It's back, isn't it?
Back and looking for a fight, no doubt.
Outside! It's coming straight at us!
I saw something. It's huge. Glowing, by God! Load the harpoons and stand ready! We'll not lose it again.
Brace for impact!
By God, we'll get that thing. I've lost sight of it. Where'd he go? There it is! There it is! He's hurt over here! There it is!
Hold on, everyone! Hold on!
The shock of the cold hit me like 100 knives. My breath torn from my lungs as the ocean swallowed me whole.
Professor. Where? Professor Aronnax. Are you all right? Just hold on to something.
I'm here too. Wherever here is, soaked to the bone, but alive.
Whatever struck us is no beast of flesh and blood. This is something forged. Something born from an iron will. But to what end?
A devil made of iron is what it is. Came at us like it had a grudge. And if I get my hands on it...
Conceivably, monsieur. It is we who are the intruders here. It sounds noble, this idea of conquering the sea, but here, in the dark, perhaps it is we who are conquered.
Do you hear that? It's still here, watching us.
Let it come closer. If it wants a fight, well...
Perhaps it's beyond fighting, Monsieur Ned. Professor, someone or something is coming. Monsieur, grab hold. We're being pulled inside.
I sank, weightless and helpless, into the dark. I felt the current tug at me, pulling me toward the great black shape. Its hull opened. A hatch yawning like the maw of some ancient leviathan, and I was drawn inside as if carried on a current too strong to resist. It was as though the thing had decided I was to be taken. To be consumed.
You there, in the water, do not struggle.
Who are you? I am the master of this vessel. I am the guardian of an empire beneath the waves. A world where the laws of the surface have no place.
You rammed our ship!
The surface world? It imagined itself invincible. But down here, in the depths, it is my law that prevails.
Professor, where are we being taken?
Rest now. Soon you'll learn the true nature of my vessel and of the ocean that surrounds you.
We found ourselves in a dim chamber, the walls pressing close, the air heavy with a strange metallic taste. Water dripped somewhere in the distance, each droplet echoing as though it were the very heartbeat of the vessel. I looked at my companions and I saw the same haunted uncertainty in their eyes that I felt in my own heart. There was a faint light up ahead, cold, unnatural glow that seemed to grow brighter as if anticipating our approach.
Professor, this place, it feels as if we've left the world behind.
We have, Conseil. We're in a kingdom unlike any other, hidden from human eyes, governed by forces we do not understand. Is this truly discovery? Or are we glimpsing the darkness that lies beneath everything we know?
I don't care what he thinks he is, the king of the ocean or some kind of god. We're getting out of here, Professor. I'll find a way, I swear it.
Escape to where, Monsieur Ned? Look around you, huh? We are miles beneath the surface, adrift in a machine that defies nature itself.
And so, we are drawn into his world, carried away into the dark unknown, beneath the reach of the sun. As I sit in this cold sanctuary, I couldn't help but wonder, what price had someone paid for this sovereignty? This was no ordinary ship, no simple machine. The walls hummed with life. I could feel the weight of the ocean pressing down, as if it too was watching, waiting, and we were its captives. I saw him first, in silhouette, a figure draped in shadows as thick as the ocean's midnight. His back was to me, his stance rigid, hands clasped behind him in a gesture of impossible calm. He stood before the great observation window, that abyssal glass through which the world outside pressed close, endless and indifferent. The room itself seemed to inhale around him, drawing in every flicker of the bioluminescent dark, every muffled beat of the ship's pulse. There was a moment, a heartbeat perhaps, when I thought we were alone with something ancient, an emissary from some sunken past. But then he spoke, and the illusion shattered. Perhaps merely transformed.
You pursued what you believed to be a monster, and yet you stand now within its belly. Gentlemen, welcome to the Nautilus, my refuge, my sanctuary, and perhaps, if you can accept it, your salvation.
You are the captain of this vessel? The one they call the Terror of the Seas?
Terror? Only to those who would poison the ocean with their greed. To the men of warships and empires, I am indeed a terror. But here, in this watery expanse, I am simply a man who has cast aside the follies of the surface world. I am Nemo, a name that means no one.
But this vessel, this marvel of engineering, it defies all we know. To live beneath the sea, to reject the surface. This is beyond the reach of any ordinary man.
An ordinary man is bound by his limitations, Professor. But I am free. I have turned my back on a world of war and greed. Down here, I am the master of a kingdom with no borders and no flags.
A kingdom? Sounds more like a prison to me. You say you're free, but you're trapped under miles of water, hiding from the world above, like a hermit in a cave.
Freedom, Mr. Land, is not defined by the distance from the surface. Freedom is the power to live by one's own laws, to answer to no one, to no king, no government, no nation. I have escaped the madness of men.
But, Captain, to sever all ties, to abandon humanity entirely, is that not a form of isolation? Are we not shaped by the world above, no matter how we may try to escape it?
Isolation? Yes. There is a cost. But I have seen what humanity has to offer, and I have found it wanting. The ocean is my refuge from the sickness that plagues mankind. Beneath the waves, I have found a purity, a silence that the world above could never understand.
And we? We are prisoners here, Captain.
Prisoners? No. You sought the unknown. And now, you are my guest, as long as you can respect the laws of my kingdom. But know this, the ocean guards its secrets fiercely. Once you have seen what lies beneath, there is no going back.
I didn't ask to see your secrets, Captain. And I don't plan on staying down here in your underwater empire. I'll find a way out. Mark my words.
You are welcome to try, Mr. Land. But remember, the ocean does not forgive, and it does not let go.
And so we remained, adrift in this iron leviathan, captives of Captain Nemo, though even now I hesitate to call him by that name, as if naming him might tether him to the world of ordinary men. He had turned his back on all that we knew, and forged a kingdom in the darkness. I found myself torn between the awe I felt for this machine, this masterpiece, and the dread that grew with each passing moment. We had crossed a threshold into a place where we learned, soon enough, that not all darkness lies beneath the sea.
Do you know why you're here, Professor? You hunt monsters, yes? Fantasies of beasts that gnash and sink ships to the murk of the deep. But you've been looking in the wrong place.
Nemo turned then, and I saw him for the first time. Truly saw him. His face was gaunt, carved by lines as sharp and unforgiving as cliff sides. His eyes, those eyes, they held no light of madness, no feverish gleam, as I might have expected from the tales. Instead, they were deep wells of weary disdain, the color of old iron, and behind them lurked a sorrow so profound that I felt it pressing against my chest, like the weight of water itself. He regarded me as one might regard a relic, an artifact, pulled from the detritus of a world he had long abandoned.
This is the heart of the Nautilus. You stand within a realm far removed from the surface, untouched by the tides of war, greed, and the folly. Here, beneath the waves, we're free from the noise and corruption of mankind. Here, in the Nautilus, the ocean is not just a backdrop. It is a sovereign state, unyielding, boundless, incorruptible.
It's a world within a world, a cathedral in this frontier, yet it feels alive.
Alive? Yes. The Nautilus is no ordinary machine, Professor Aronnax. She breathes as you and I do. She draws her strength from the very ocean that surrounds us. The sea provides everything we need. Power, sustenance, sanctuary.
Sanctuary. Sounds more like a prison to me.
The surface world imprisons men with walls of ignorance and chains of servitude, Mr. Land. Here, the only boundary is the vastness of the ocean, a freedom you may never understand. My companions now are the creatures of the sea, the sunless deep, and the freedom to live as I choose.
Every coral, every anemone clings to life down here. Not out of choice, but because they have no other option. Is this the freedom you speak of, Captain?
Gentlemen, the ocean has given me more than sanctuary. I have treasures here that no kingdom on land could ever lay claim to. Riches beyond any monarch's imagined.
Astonishing. These are artifacts, ancient as the tides themselves. The ocean's lost fortunes gathered here, untouched.
Monsieur, Captain, but why collect this submerged history, huh?
Now, I thought you said you didn't like the way we hoard things up above, good Captain. A lot of gold and gems you can't spend here, eh?
They belong to the sea, and to the sovereignty of the Nautilus.
Yeah, right.
It's remarkable. You have created an existence untouched by man's cruelty.
A self-imposed exile. A rejection of a world that has rejected me again and again. Down here, I have found a purity that the surface world has lost. Here I answer to no one but the ocean.
Well, I for one have had enough. I'm no exile, Nemo.
You're free to leave, if you can find a way. But here, you're under my protection.
I'd take a good ship and a strong wind over this truth any day. I'm a whaler, Captain, not a fish. The ocean may be wide, but you're just caught in a net. Only you don't see it. You just show me the way back to the surface, and I'll be gone.
And where would you go, Mr. Land? Back to the ships of war that hunt whales and man alike? Back to the cities where you're little more than a weapon in another's hand? You call this a cage? But it is a cage of my own making. Above, the chains are hidden and imposed. Here, I chose the weight I carry.
But what of those who cross your path? Do we inherit this solitude?
I offer you no cage, no chains. Only the truth of this place, if you are willing to see it. You have glimpsed the surface's greatest fear. The idea that they do not own this world.
A life without the sky? Without the sun? It's no life at all.
Oh, Mr. Land, is it truly liberation you want? Or merely the illusion of it? Look there through the lower observation window. My divers are walking the ocean floor now, harvesting the riches of the sea.
It's magnificent. Captain, I never imagined the sea would be so alive at its depths. These creatures, how do they survive in such darkness?
They are made to endure, Conseil. Every coral, every anemone, clings to life in these hidden places. It is a world apart from men, thriving on the ocean's indifference.
So, this is where you gather your treasures, Cap. Gold, relics, wreckage, things claimed by the sea, never to be seen by anyone else.
Not treasures, Mr. Land. These are reminders. To you, they are things. But to the ocean, they are nothing more than matter to be reshaped and reclaimed.
And what of the lives you've taken? The ships you've destroyed? Are we supposed to believe that you've somehow made yourself a judge over the rest of us? If that's your freedom, I don't want it.
You call yourselves the pinnacle of creation, masters of the earth itself, as if granted a divine right to pillage and plunder. Nations rise and fall, but the disease remains carried in the hearts of men, a plague with no cure. I have seen the earth scarred and barren, bled dry by the avarice of kings and merchants alike, defiled by the ceaseless hunger. This is the world you call civilization. Blinded by gold, deafened by engines, you cannot hear the earth's cry. Beneath your cities, beneath every border drawn in blood and smoke, the soil bears witness to each drop spilled. You speak of progress, yet build empires upon bones, knowing only how to take, to strip the world bare until there is nothing left but ash. And when the last drop of life has been wrung from the land, you will turn to the sea, as you have every corner of this world, seeing it only as a resource to exploit. When your greed and wars leave you gasping for salvation, I shall let the world above wither, the waves closing upon its ruins like a shroud. For I have seen the truth. Mankind does not deserve the world it has inherited. And I shall be its last witness. Come, Professor Aronnax. I have something to show you. Something rare. A sight that no man on the surface could ever hope to see.
And so, we again found ourselves, floating in a kingdom of shadows and silence, captives to a man who had made the sea his own domain, a man who wore his isolation like armor, and his freedom like a wound. I could feel the ocean pressing in, vast and unknowable, as if it were listening and judging us for trespassing on its ancient path. I felt a shiver of understanding course through me, a shiver of fear, not of him, but of the quiet certainty in his voice, the bleakness of his truth. For in that moment, I glimpsed the frailty of our world, and I wondered if I, too, would come to see the sea as he did, not as a frontier, but as an escape from all that lay above.
Look, Professor. Behold the wonders of the sea. Here, in the darkest depths, where no sun can reach, life thrives.
It's astonishing. Creatures that have never felt the warmth of the sun, and yet they glow with their own light, alive in this vast, silent world. The ocean, it's like a universe unto itself, endless, unknowable.
I wouldn't mind stepping out of all this. Glowing or not, I prefer my creature small enough to fit on a plate.
Remarkable.
And so it shall remain. It is mine to explore, mine to understand, alone. You wonder, don't you, Professor? You wonder why a man would forsake the sun, the sky, the very ground beneath his feet.
Yes, Captain. I've wondered. A mind as brilliant as yours, why choose exile in these depths?
The surface world. It is a poisoned chalice, Professor. I believed once. Believed in their ideals. Until I saw what lay beneath.
You were betrayed?
Betrayed? No, Professor. Not betrayed. I was consumed. Devoured by a world that preys upon the weak, that drowns the innocent in rivers of gold. I fought for them. I dared to dream of a world that could be just, could be whole. And they They crushed that dream beneath their boots. Down here, I'm not their pawn. There are some things too vast even for the sea to swallow. And a man can drown in memories as surely as he can drown in water.
Days, or perhaps weeks, bled into one another. The sea pressed upon us, and the Nautilus crept ever deeper, as if drawn by some siren's call. The walls of the corridor glistened with a faint, unnatural light, as though the very air carried the cold gleam of deep water. It was like walking through the arteries of some immense, breathing machine. The Nautilus seemed less a vessel and more a cathedral to the ocean itself, with Captain Nemo its solitary high priest.
The ocean is a mirror, Professor. The deeper we go, the closer you will come to seeing yourself. Or something else entirely.
Yeah, I see all right. Those are some big fish out there. And you, Captain, gathering trinkets from the sea, sinking ships, and leaving men to drown. What kind of man collects these curiosities on your walls like a magpie while sending others to a watery grave?
I have simply taken the necessary steps to protect the ocean from the clutches of men who would poison it, to protect it from your kind. No one else had the courage to.
These are not merely trinkets, Ned. Look closely. This is a collection beyond the reach of even the greatest museums. His devotion. Now, don't you agree, Professor?
Yes, but to what end?
We are approaching the forest of Crespo, Professor. A place where man has never set foot, nor the light of the sun ever pierced. Here, the sea becomes a realm of living shadows, a garden of strange forms that grow from the bones of the earth itself. You shall witness a landscape that belongs not to the world above, but the ocean's most secret places, and perhaps then you will understand what it is to truly dwell within Neptune's hold.
Monsieur, I have no words. It is as if we have stumbled into a landscape from another world. The plants, they move as though they possess a will of their own. And the light, it is as though the very darkness has taken on a life, a spirit.
I have read of such places in the speculations of naturalists, but to see it with my own eyes, it's a vision that defies any attempt to describe it in the language of men. It is a primordial beauty here, a sense that this place has existed unchanged for millennia.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'll give you that. But what use is beauty down here where no one can see it?
And that is precisely why it endures, Mr. Land. Up there in the world of men, beauty is fleeting, trampled by the march of progress, sacrificed to the demands of industry and war. But here the garden remains eternal.
You might call it a garden, Captain, but it's a garden no man was ever meant to walk in.
There was a time when I believed such beauty could be preserved. Then I thought the world above could be redeemed, That is why I fight, so that some small part of this earth may remain beyond the reach of ruin.
You have turned your back on mankind. Is that your only peace?
I have made my peace with the ocean, and in return it has given me its secrets. It is the only ally I need.
No man, no matter how wise, can fully escape the world. Even here, you speak of it. Huh? As if it haunts you. Even here, there is no true escape.
I do not wish for your sympathy, nor do I seek your understanding. I only wish that you see what I have seen.
I gazed out at that alien landscape. I could not help but feel that we were sinking deeper, not only into the abyss of the ocean, but into Captain Nemo's soul.
You indulge him very much, Professor.
What do you mean, Conseil? I am a scientist. You have known me too many years to be surprised by my inquisitive nature.
I have followed you into the depths, Professor. But do you not see? Huh? We are not studying the sea. We are being consumed by it.
Consumed, my faithful friend? Nonsense. You accompany me for the privilege of discovery.
Do I?
Yes. How many men are chosen to see what we have seen?
Chosen? Or simply unable to turn away? Eh? Sometimes I wonder if we follow it willingly or because we no longer know how to stop.
You have never questioned my sincerity before. The sea has opened its arms to us. We would be fools to refuse its embrace.
I am saying, Professor, sometimes an embrace holds too tightly. And sometimes it's hard to tell who is holding whom.
Conseil. Always so practical. Come, let us leave philosophy to Captain Nemo. We have much to learn. There was a chill in the air, a weight that seemed to press down upon us as the Nautilus drove further south, deeper into the frozen heart of the world. Captain Nemo's obsession had led us through familiar seas and the strange eternal silence below, and now to a place few men have ever dared to reach. We were bound for the South Pole, a desolate frontier, and for what purpose, only he knew.
Gentlemen, understand this. We are voyaging to a place where no flag flies, where no nation claims dominion. The South Pole, a world untouched by human hands, pure in its autonomy, free from the chains of civilization.
It's nothing but ice and death! You're taking us straight into it! Only a madman sails into a frozen graveyard just to see what's there!
Down here, Mr. Land, I answer to no one, and neither do you.
If that's the case, let's get to the surface, now!
We were headed for the edge of the world. That barren landscape at the bottom of the map where even the sea bows to nature's rawest forces. The South Pole, an empire of ice and shadow. where man is no more than a breath against the relentless jaws of winter. And yet, Captain Nemo seemed drawn to it, as if the very desolation of those waters called to something deep within him. We stepped out into a world of pure, blinding white, a kingdom locked in ice, untouched by time, unbroken by any human hand. Here, the South Pole lay vast, silent, and unconquered. Until now.
Gentlemen, today we make history. This land, cold and desolate as it may be, shall bear the mark of the Nautilus, a symbol of defiance, where no nation, no empire holds sway.
You plant a flag here, Captain? What can a man own what even the earth barely clings to?
It is neither comfort nor conquest, Conseil. It is a testament.
As the flag fluttered against the indifferent sky, I saw in Nemo here, on the edge of the earth, carving out a kingdom in silence. A land as impenetrable as the void he called home.
You speak as if the ocean has made us its kings, Professor. Tell me, when did kings last bend to its will as much as we do now?
You are loyal, Conseil, as steady as the tides themselves. But let us not lose ourselves in doubts. The sea demands we move forward, and forward we shall go.
Yes, steady as the tides, and just as bound to the pull of something greater.
For days, we pushed through a labyrinth of ice, each sheet thicker and more menacing than the last. Out there, in that frozen graveyard, it was not the sea that lay beneath us, but a solid, unyielding slab, a wall of ice, waiting for the smallest error, the faintest slip. It was as if we were trespassers in a kingdom that had never known warmth, where even the sun's light was a pale, dying thing. Why had Nemo brought us here? What did he hope to find in these frozen wastes? Perhaps to him, the South Pole was the ultimate refuge, a place so distant, so untouched by human hands, that it could serve as a final sanctuary for the world above. Or perhaps it was simply another test, a challenge, to defy the very boundaries of the earth itself. To him, every risk, every shudder of the hull against the crushing ice was an act of defiance, a reminder that he lived beyond the reach of any law or limit known to man. Captain, the ice, the crushing pressures, the risk is unimaginable. The South Pole has swallowed men whole, ships that dared stray too close. Are you certain the Nautilus can endure?
I would sooner be entombed in ice than enslaved by men.
Wonderful. We're risking our necks so he can make a point about freedom.
Surely the hull wasn't built for this kind of sustained pressure. If we don't find a way out soon, the Nautilus will...
I would think, given your time aboard the Nautilus, you'd not underestimate her. Increase the ballast pressure and prepare to dive deeper. The only way out is beneath the ice. We'll break free at a lower depth where the ice isn't as thick.
Deeper? We're already close to being crushed. You just can't keep diving. At some point, you'll be out of ocean. This is madness,
Prepare to
Captain.
reverse all engines, full power.
We're not moving.
We will force our way free. Increase the pressure in the tanks, now!
The ice, it's collapsing.
There is no turning back, Mr. Land. Don't you see?
It's collapsing.
There never was. If we don't break through this ice, we perish here.
The ice is giving way. We're being buried alive.
Gonna get us all killed if you don't turn back.
Captain, there must be another way. If If we can't find our way through, we need to find a place where the ice is weaker. A place where we can ascend safely.
I have already considered that, Professor. I will find another path. We will find the surface, or we will carve our way to it.
We're still in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by nothing but ice.
Professor, that man who spoke of science and wonder is not the same man I see now. There is something heavy in his gaze, as if he bears a burden that grows with every fathom.
He's lost, Conseil. Lost in his own damned obsessions. Control. Purity. The sea. Running from something he can't face, and it's dragging us down with him. If we surface, we need to find a way to get off this thing while we can.
In the South Pole? Where will we go? We must tread carefully, Ned. Captain Nemo is not a man to be provoked lightly. Do not do it.
Getting our things from our cabin.
We are suspended between life and death. The air thinning with each passing second. Around us, the ice held firm, like a fist ready to crush its prey. And at the helm, Captain Nemo stood unmoved, calculating, planning our escape.
Increase ballast pressure. All tanks at maximum. We will rise until the ice begins to give.
Do you feel that? We're pushing upwards, but the ice, it's too thick. How will we be?
He's using the Nautilus like a chisel, pressing against the ice, forcing it to yield. But it may not be enough.
We'll heat the outer hull. The water will warm, and the ice will weaken. We don't need to shatter it. Just enough to break free.
This isn't working.
It's not going to work.
Wait! The heat, radiating from the hull, is melting a path where none existed.
Come on. Come on.
Now! Engines full ahead!
We're moving, Professor. We're breaking through.
We'll burst free of this cage of ice and return to the open water.
In an instant, we were free. The icy tendrils releasing us back into the dark waters. Above, the broken shards of ice floated like ghosts, lingering in the depths. Around us, the ocean stretched, vast and endless, welcoming us back from the brink.
Monsieur, what's happening? Are we under attack?
To the observation lounge, quickly. We're about to witness a sight few men have ever seen, and even fewer have survived to tell of.
Great. Just what I needed. Another chance to get killed, seeing something I never asked for.
But what is that, Captain? That light?
It is a giant squid, the Kraken of legend.
Are you mad, man? That thing could crush the ship like an eggshell.
It's magnificent. I never dreamed I'd witness such a creature. Its arms, the way they move, like muscle and fury incarnate.
Not now, Professor.
The creature! It's circling us. Captain, what is your plan? Huh? Surely we cannot stay here.
We will not flee. The Nautilus is strong enough to withstand any pressure, even the crushing embrace of a giant squid. If it attempts to grasp the hull, we'll have no choice but to fight.
It's trying to crush us, Captain. We need to break free.
The Nautilus will not be brought down by this monster. Prepare yourselves!
Damn it, man! If we don't get out of here, that thing's gonna tear this ship apart!
To the deck! We cannot fight it from within. To the arms room! Prepare the electric shocks along the hull. Activate the electric shocks. We will not be dragged down by any beast. Arm yourselves if you wish to survive.
It's not letting go of the shocks. They're only making it angrier.
We fight it the old-fashioned way. Get me my harpoon. I'll take care of that beast myself. Gotcha, you brute! I'll carve you into fish bait!
The Nautilus surged upward, tearing itself free from the giant's grip with a shudder that rattled through every bolt and beam. The darkness outside gave way to a dim, grayish light, leaving the creature behind.
Mon Dieu, it is gone. We have survived the ice of the South Pole, and now this squid monster.
The beast slipped away, leaving us battered and breathless, but alive. And as the silence of the ocean closed around us once more, I realized we had come face to face with the power of the abyss. We were strangers here, trespassers in a world that had no need for men, and no mercy for them either. In the aftermath of that monstrous struggle, the very air of the Nautilus felt heavier. The men moved as though under some spell, their faces pale. The attack had left scars, not only on the hull, but on every soul aboard. And Nemo, he stood apart, shoulders heavy, eyes dark, with something that seemed almost hollow.
Tend to the wounded of the crew. Even the ocean turns against its own in the end. Against its own in the end. My guests, thank you for fending off the attack. We are, I suppose, all mere guests in the ocean realm. Unwanted guests. I believe that we could live untouched, undisturbed.
Your men, they're shaken. The Nautilus itself seems fractured. Perhaps we should return to the surface, give the crew time to recover.
Return? To the surface? To the ice?
We're all supposed to keep drifting along, getting chewed up by whatever lurks in the dark, while you keep chasing what? Exactly.
I have pursued this path for too long. To turn back now, Mr. Land, even if the depths cannot wash away the past, the sea will cleanse me.
Some things stay with us, even in the darkest depths, Captain. Some shadows linger.
Perhaps, Professor. Perhaps.
You hear that, Professor? Cannon fire. They're trying to blow us out of the water. There's a warship out there, and it's hunting us.
I would wager they've been following us for some time. A vessel that large found us at last. And it sounds like they're not interested in questions, only in sinking us.
The sound was unmistakable. Cannons pounding through the depths, echoing with a relentless fury. A warship from the surface, closing in, armed and ready to turn this ocean sanctuary into a battleground. We were being hunted, as if we were no more than prey in their crosshairs.
So, they've come for us at last. A warship from the world above, armed to the teeth. Trying to drag us back into their nightmare?
Yeah, and given what you've been doing, if they catch us, we're as good as dead. They'll fire until there's nothing left of us.
Let them come, Mr. Land. The strength of our weapon lies not in the cannons or guns, but in something far deeper. Purpose. Today, we teach them that the ocean is no one's to command.
Oh, sure, Captain. Let them come. I'm sure they'll be terrified of us, especially since they've got cannons. And we're, what? Armed with your strong opinion of them?
Their cannon are nothing. I've destroyed so many of them before. The sea is my ally. Full speed, now!
I hope the sea can aim better than their gunners.
I will have justice.
Do we witness justice or vengeance, Professor? You taught me to see the world with wonder, but now I see the cost of it. We are not explorers anymore. We are prisoners of our own ambition.
They've been told to destroy a threat, one they don't understand.
Professor, listen to yourself. You call this justified? What has that ship done but defend itself against a predator it cannot understand?
Defend itself, Conseil. It is no innocent. That warship represents everything Nemo has fled. The greed, the power, the destruction of the surface world. He is fighting for his freedom.
And what are those men aboard, Professor? Are they nothing? Their lives mean as little to you as they do to Captain Nemo. You speak as if you've forgotten who you are. You are not him.
I have forgotten nothing. I've seen enough of the surface to know its corruption runs deep. Perhaps Nemo's methods are severe, but the world above made him what he is. I do begin to wonder if perhaps, as you are so fond of saying, Conseil, they leave him no choice.
Choice? Is that what you call this? You could have spared them. Could still, but instead, he drowns them in the name of vengeance that can never be satisfied. Tell me, Professor, when did you stop seeing the man and start seeing only his cause?
Captain Nemo forces us to see what the surface blinds us to. So much war, destroying nature. The world above deserves his defiance.
This path we are taking, it will only bring more violence, more death.
I will show them the cost of their arrogance.
And so we prepared for an assault, not as men of science, not as explorers, but as witnesses to a terrible reckoning. Captain Nemo, a man who had once sought only independence, had now turned his sanctuary into a weapon aimed at the world he had forsaken.
Crew, to your stations. Prepare the ram. Today we strike from below, in silence. Let the sea be our voice.
Captain, please. There are men on that ship. Men who do not know you or your quarrel. This course, it will bring nothing but blood. Is this what you wish for?
Wish for, Professor? No, it is not a wish, but an answer.
I have found one cannot rest peace from vengeance, Captain.
Crew, prepare the vessel. Strike, and let the ocean be our witness.
And then, silence. A silence so vast, so complete, it swallowed everything. The cries of the men we killed vanished, claimed by the depths. And in that silence, a darker truth took hold. We had become the very thing he once sought to escape.
More blood sinking into the depths.
Satisfied, Captain? You've given them your answer. But tell me, what did it gain you? Murderer!
The sea takes all things in the end. It swallows them whole and leaves only silence.
I think we too have been taken by the ocean, lost in your vengeance and the silence after, with no shore in sight. We had drifted into the deeper waters of Norway, where even the light of the surface was but a distant memory. And Captain Nemo, he seemed as though he too were drawn into some unseen depth, his eyes fixed on the darkness outside with a look I could only describe as surrender.
A warship. Dozens of men sent to the bottom without a second thought. You've done it all before, but this time we're with you. Tell me, Captain, what does that make us?
It makes us what I always was to them, Mr. Land. Shadows beneath their world, A reminder of the things they would rather forget. There are currents here. Currents that lead only to oblivion.
The ocean may have given you safe harbor, but clearly not peace.
I suppose there is no peace for men like me. I see that now.
Turn back. Surface. Don't let us drift into oblivion. Please, let us live.
There is no surfacing for me, Professor. I have chosen my course. The sea has claimed me, and it will claim us all in time.
Captain, there are whispers of a place in these waters. A place where the sea itself swallows all. The fishermen of Norway call it the maelstrom, a whirlpool that drags everything into its depths.
Then set a different course, Captain! Turn away from this madness!
The maelstrom, yes. A fitting end, don't you think? Nothing escapes. It is a force that answers to no man. And I have spent my life seeking just such a power.
I will not follow you into the abyss. I cannot. This is not defiance, Captain. It is survival. And you, Professor, will you let his obsessions drown us? Will you let yourself be swallowed by them too?
Conseil, Nemo is...
Nemo has chosen his path. But we do not have to share his grave, Professor. If there is any part of you that still belongs to the surface, we must leave the Nautilus now.
Let it be finished then. The sea has always been my companion. Only the depths remain, and they are pulling me as surely as a tide pulls a stone.
Taking me to your grave. Where is my freedom?
True freedom is only found in surrender. You may not understand, Mr. Land, but the sea has claimed me. And now, it will take us all.
Stop him! He's jamming the controls!
All hands to your stations. We face the unknown, as we have always done.
Release us from this madness. We do not belong to the depths as you do.
The ocean takes back what it has given. And I, who have defied it for so long, shall now be claimed by its silence. It is not death that I fear, but the hollow calm that follows, where even the deepest rage becomes still.
Captain, if you have any shred of mercy left, let us go.
Take the skiff. Find your way to the surface if the ocean will allow it.
Come on, both of you.
To the skiff! Quickly!
If we're lucky, the current will throw us clear!
Here, in the darkness, I am at last, unbound. Farewell to the world above, and farewell to the dreams I once held dear. Almighty God, enough, enough! Has not thy will been sufficiently accomplished? Are we not here, thy creatures, within thy reach? Almighty God, enough! Enough! Enough!
The maelstrom had us in its jaws. The very ocean roared around us, dragging us towards a place from which nothing returns. We clung to anything solid, knowing that one misstep, one lapse, we would be lost to the void below. For a long moment, we were adrift in a profound quiet. Only the sound of our labored breathing filled the space. And then we were free. The darkness, it was all around me, heavy and cold, pressing in. The maelstrom had taken us, torn the Nautilus from the world above and drawn it into the heart of the abyss. I awoke, adrift on the shattered remains of the ship. The sea had spared us. Why, I cannot say. It was as though the ocean itself had chosen to cast me back, a survivor from the wreckage of a dream. Cast out from the jaws of the maelstrom, we found ourselves in an ocean of calm, adrift beneath an endless sky. The Nautilus is gone, swallowed by the deep, and yet I remain. I clung to the remnants of the Nautilus, lashed to a splintered fragment of its ornate wood interior. I could feel the weight of the ocean still upon me, a cold reminder of the force that had dragged us into the depths and spat me out again. Perhaps it was mere chance, or a cruel mercy.
Professor! Oh, there you are! Grab hold of this piece of wood paneling, Conseil.
Here! He truly belongs to the sea now. Ned! There's Ned!
His crew. Gone. What did it gain him?
He was a man who defied the world, who sought emancipation in a place no one else could follow. But perhaps, in the end, he found only the silence of the deep, a silence that holds no answers, only shadows.
Hold on, we've got you. Don't try to move. You're safe now.
Safe. I heard the word. It seemed as distant as the world I had left behind. The maelstrom, the Nautilus, Captain Nemo. All seemed like the fragments of some fevered dream. And yet, they were real. I had survived, but not by my own strength. I was adrift at the mercy of the sea, and it had chosen to spare me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tom Konkle, bidding you good night from the shadowy corridors of the mind, where stories are told and dreams are shaped into the sounds you've just heard. Tonight's production has been a humble offering from the Mindstream Radio Reborn podcast. Our attempts to bring you the extraordinary, the macabre, the moving, and the marvelous. But of course, no such endeavor is truly the work of one man. For tonight's voyage into the theater of the mind, I owe my deepest thanks to my dear and talented friends. Vernon Wells as Captain Nemo, David Beeler as Ned, Paul Eiding as Conseil, Curtis Bedford, Pete Lutz, Larry Groby, Jack Ward, and my own son, Sean Konkle, as the various voices that have lent life to the characters that moved and breathed within this little world we built together. The writing adaptation, the music, the editing, and the direction, such as it is, are mine. A pleasure as ever to weave this tale of 20,000 leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. But the magic is yours, dear listeners. You make these stories live simply by hearing them. And so, until next time, we leave you here, between the roll of the ocean, the fading echoes, and the whisper of dreams yet untold. I remain, as always, your obedient servant, Tom Konkle. Good night.